Tim Burton's project The Addams Family, you won't believe it, has been developed for 3 decades. Burton initially declined to lead the 1991 Addams Family because he was busy with Batman Returns. He was later attached to another project, The Addams Family, which was eventually cancelled. Fans of The Addams Family will definitely recognize botany teacher Marilyn Thornhill, played by Christina Ricci, who played Wednesday Addams in 1991's The Addams Family and 1993's Addams Family Values. Jenna Ortega said that Ricci supported her on set and never mentioned her version of Wednesday, giving Ortega the right to create her own version of the character. Ricci and Tim Burton, by the way, had previously worked on the film Sleepy Hollow in 1999. Christina Ricci, by the way, is the only one of the previous films in the Addams Family series who appeared in the first season of Wednesday. Thora Birch was originally chosen for the role of Marilyn. The actress left project for personal reasons. Because Christina Ricci replaced Thora Birch, several scenes had to be reshot. A closer look at the first few episodes shows that Ricci was filming in front of a green screen, as none of her shots feature other characters. Others are only visible from behind, and these are static shots without movement. Intentionally or not, replacing Thora Birch with Christina Ricci ultimately changes the season's ending. The revelation of her character Mrs. Thornhill's true identity in the finale leads to Wednesday coming face-to-face with her. Since Ricci played the same role in the 90s, the season ends with a battle between the former Wednesday and the new one. Despite her previous roles in horror films, as well as her seemingly laid-back acting, Jenna Ortega was initially reluctant to play Wednesday Addams on this series alongside Christina Ricci. When Ortega was told that Ricci would join the project, the actress admitted that she sincerely felt that she was having a panic attack. "I was horrified, she is a really cool woman. I was thrilled to meet her, but the first time we shot together, she had to see me dress up the way she was dressed 30 years ago. That was incredible," Ortega said in an interview. Jenna Ortega dreamed of becoming an actress since childhood. At the age of 9, she advertised toothpaste, and then starred in a cameo role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Iron Man 3. After Jenna starred in a number of horror films, the actress herself predicted the role of Wednesday 6 years earlier, in 2016. It happened in the TV series Harley's Life. According to the plot, Jenna's character was the middle child in a large family, so she said, "If my family were days for weeks, I would become Wednesday." Series co-creator Miles Miller said that once they met Jenna Ortega via Zoom, they knew no one else could play Wednesday on the show. Miller said that Ortega reminds him of a silent film actress, because she is able to convey anything without words. The actress bled before meeting the producers and director. The fact is that then Jenna starred in the Horror X. The phone call was during a break during these filming. Tim Burton also praised Jenna Ortega, calling her one of the most talented actresses he has ever worked with. To prepare for the role, Ortega took lessons in cello, archery and fencing, and studied German. Wednesday was very close to me, because as a child I played in a cemetery near my house. I loved a horror movie and, in a way, I felt like Wednesday, Jenna said. It's just part of who she is, and it's also part of the world of the Addams Family, which again is something I felt very close to. Also, in an interview with Teen Vogue, Ortega said that as a child, she performed autopsies on dead animals, more specifically dead lizards, that she could find in her backyard. The headmistress of the Nevermore Academy, Larissa Weems, portrayed by Gwendolyn Christie, was inspired by T.B. Hedren in The Birds, 1963. As seen in the first episode, the Addams family's car license is registered in New Jersey, the birthplace of Addams Family creator Charles Addams. Jenna Ortega choreographed a dance for Wednesday herself, to the Cramps' Google Mac for the iconic high school dance scene. I'll talk about this episode later. By the way, this scene was inspired by such stars as Suzy Sue, Bob Fosse, Lisa Loring, Lena Lavick, and Danny Laban. The inspiration was also archival footage of goths dancing in clubs in the 80s. While fans of the Addams Family movies say they don't understand how Puerto Rican actor Luis Guzman was chosen to play Gomez, given other portrayals of the character as a handsome Casanova, such as Raul Julia's portrayal in the 90s. In fact, in the original by author Charles Addams, the cartoons portrayed Gomez as fat. It was this version of Gomez that Tim Burton wanted to show the audience in the series. By the way, in his will, Charles Addams indicated that after his death, the Addams Family should not be broadcast anywhere else. Luis Guzman is the oldest actor to play Gomez at age 66 years old. 53-year-old Catherine Zeta-Jones, in this series, is also the oldest actress to play Morticia Addams. George Borsey is the shortest larch in the entire Addams franchise. His height is 6.23 feet. Ted Cassidy, who played the butler in the 1960s TV series, was 6.73 feet. Carell Struican, who played him in 90s movies, was 6.56 feet. John DeSantis, who played him on the 90s TV show, is 6.6 feet. Perhaps someone has forgotten, but the creators of Wednesday, Alfred Goff and Miles Miller, already have experience working with teenage series, because they created the Smallville series. This 10-year TV project is dedicated to the youth of Superman, the popular hero of DC Comics. The Thing in this series is not CGI or an animatronic. He is played by the real actor Victor Dorobantu, just like in the movies of the 90s. Victor and Christopher Hart, who played the Thing in the films of the 90s, are real masters of their craft. The hand of Christopher Hart appeared, by the way, not only in the films about the Addams, it can also be seen in the horror Killer Hand. When Wednesday's casting was first announced and there was some backlash online about the casting of people of color for roles that would normally be cast by a white actor. In particular, the casting of Jenna Ortega as Wednesday and Luis Guzman as Gomez Addams were criticized despite the fact that Gomez is a Hispanic name, and Raul Julia, perhaps Gomez's best-known image, was a Puerto Rican. Luckily, Ortega didn't mind the online trolling and claimed that the character change was actually more accurate. Technically, Wednesday is a Latin character, which was never shown, Jenna explained, singling out Gomez as her father. Therefore, I want that every time I have the opportunity to represent my community, it should be visible. In the series, only Wednesday wears black and white clothes, all the other characters try on multicolored outfits. Wednesday in the series blinks very rarely. She seems to only blink when she is hurt or caught off guard. The idea came after trying to do one take where Jenna Ortega didn't blink, leaving director Tim Burton so enamored with the result that he told Jenna not to blink anymore while on camera. Then, during her appearance on Show Today, Ortega said, "Wednesday doesn't blink. Tim Burton likes it when I tilt my chin and look through my eyebrows, kind of like a cockpit look, and then relax all the muscles in my face. They had to restart the take if I started to blink, because sometimes you strain your eyes and start crying. Understand, it was the Romanian winter and the cold wind blew in my face all the time," the actress said. I must say that the appearance of the characters and specifically the outfits are one of the main secrets of the success of the series. By the way, the famous costume designer Colin Atwood worked on the images of the characters, who was also responsible for the style of the characters in the films Sleepy Hollow, Fantastic Beasts and many others. In order to create the now very popular and recognizable braids for the main character, the team of the series spent 3 hours trying different types of extensions until they found the right thickness and length. And Jenna Ortega had to shave the back of her head so that the hairline was always perfect and the braids looked natural. As you understand, Jenna Ortega in this series, in addition to the main role, plays the role of the Mexican witch Goody Adams, one of the first settlers in the United States and a distant relative of Wednesday. In Puritan or Pilgrimage society, Goody was not a name, but rather a form of address for an adult woman of the lower class. The male version in this case would be Goodman. In this series, Netflix went for an experiment. Only the first and last episode of the first season contains the full opening credits, and all other episodes simply show only the title of the series and the title of the episode. The Addams Family limousine was created specifically for this series. The show's creators have capitalized on the height difference between Principal Weems, played by Gwendolyn Christie, at 6.26 feet and everyone else, especially Wednesday. Weems towers over the rest of the cast and is often filmed from low angles to emphasize her height. Christie said in an interview that she really liked her menacing yet glamorous look of her character. The growth of the actress has always been both a plus and a minus for her. Jenna Ortega shared in an interview with Teenwork that she was a vegan for a very long time until she started filming Wednesday in Romania. Now she is a pescatarian. The pescatarian is allowed to eat fish, crabs, plant foods, eggs and milk. Jenna Ortega performed a crazy dance to the Cramps' 1981 single Google Mac while fighting COVID-19. "I got this song about a week before filming, and I just took everything I could, all the madness that lived in me, because it was my first day with COVID, so it was terrible to film," Ortega said during a recent interview with Enemy. "Yes, I woke up and immediately felt strange. I never get sick, and when I do, it's not very bad. This time I had pains in my body, and my throat seemed to be torn. They gave me medication between takes because we were waiting for a positive result." Jenna Ortega and Emma Myers became incredibly close friends during the filming of the series. Even after production on the show ended, Ortega and Myers also continued to regularly comment on each other's social media posts. References: Fans of Gilmore Girls may recognize the city of Jericho as Star Hollow. It was filmed on the set of Warner Brothers used for other shows such as Pretty Little Liars and The Vampire Diaries. while Contecusino Castle in Romania, where most of the filming took place, was used as the Nevermore Academy. In general, the shooting of the series took place on the territory of 70 locations from 6 film studios. If you look closely at the environment in the Weather Vane Cafe, where Tyler works, you can see a lot of references to the films of Tim Burton. Even in the very first episode, in the cafe where Tyler works in the background with a brick wall, you can see decorative weather vanes, which are references to various Tim films. One of them is the one with the top hat referring to Willy Wonka from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the other one depicts the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow, and the third, apparently, reminds us of the tragicomedy Big Fish. In Uriah's Heap, it's hard not to notice a stuffed animal in a red sweater with black horizontal stripes, like Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street. There is a reference to the same horror in the scene when Xavier tells Wednesday and that the monster comes to him in a dream. Then he had scratches from the claws on his neck. Well, it's impossible not to notice Carrie's reference to Stephen King. Of course, I'm talking about the scene at the Crow's Ball, when paint, very similar to blood. Weather Vane, the coffee house in the TV series Wednesday, but is also the name of the school's literary magazine where Charles Addams, the creator of this story, first published the Addams Family cartoons. The secret society of the Nevermore Academy used the snap of fingers as one of their rituals, a reference to the classic Addams Family theme song. There are many references to Edgar Allan Poe in the series. The American writer, according to the Addams Family universe, was a famous graduate of Nevermore. In addition to direct and specific references to such stories as The Black Cat, The Gold Bug, The Well and the Pendulum, The Cask of Amontillado, which appears in the second series in the boat competition scene in The Cup of Pa, there are also much less noticeable Easter eggs. For example, the bird from his most famous poem The Raven often appears in the frame. Among other things, the name of the school is also inspired by the raven. Edgar's poem, quoth the Raven, Nevermore repeats this word constantly. Wednesday lives in Ophelia Hall at Nevermore Academy. Ophelia was the name of Martisha's sister in the 60s TV series The Addams Family. Wednesday's mom, Martisha, in The Addams Family, explained that Wednesday's name comes from a nursery rhyme that says Wednesday's baby is full of grief. It's funny, but in the new series, each episode contains the word grief in the title. For those who missed the intro, the creators of the series talked about their contributions to the series itself. The names of Alfred Goff and Miles Miller can be found in one of the scenes in the city of Jericho. The very first episode of the Miller and Goff inscription is printed on the window in the building where Wednesday's psychotherapist's office is located. The typewriter shown in the cutscene has a QWERTY keyboard layout, while the typewriter used by Wednesday in the series has a QWERTZ layout. This is the German layout. Principal Wins has a huge stuffed bear in Principal's office, a reference to the original series where the Addamses had a giant stuffed bear in their hallway that would often frighten guests and patrons. In the 1993 Addams Family Values, Wednesday and Puxley shoot with a bow. And in the series Wednesday, when the main character chooses an extracurricular activity for herself, she shows an amazing result in archery, immediately hitting the bullseye. Among other things, in the first film of 1991, Wednesday shoots with a crossbow exactly at the bullseye that is in the mouth of her bound brother, and at the very beginning of the first series of the new series, Wednesday finds Puxley bound in a school locker with an apple in his mouth. The scene in which Wednesday says she could eat Scout for breakfast is a reference to the '91 movie The Addams Family. Their Wednesday, played by Christina Ricci, is trying to sell Girl Scout cookies. The girl in response is interested in whether they are made from real Girl Scouts. The dance of Jenna Ortega, who played the role of the main character, very soon became viral on the network. Despite the fact that the dance was set to the song The Cramps' Google Mac, it was Lady Gaga's song Bloody Mary that became popular, which did not sound at all in the series. The singer released the track back in 2011, but the song was never known to the mass audience because it was not even a single. "11 years later, viewers began making parody videos of Wednesday's dance to Bloody Mary after someone spliced the video of the original dance to the song. So, 11 years after it was released, this really creepy song hit the tops of iTunes, Apple Music and other music platforms, and hit the top 40 on Spotify, which is a fantastic result. Later, Lady Gaga herself shot a video with her version of dancing to her own song and posted the video on TikTok. Wednesday has become the new record holder for the most hours watched in English on Netflix. In its first week, The fourth season of Stranger Things, for example, reached 335 million hours, while Wednesday reached 341 million hours. Showrunners Wednesday Alfred Goff and Mouse Miller have already confirmed that they know where they plan to take the series in Season 2, and even after that they have ideas for characters and plot development for at least 3 to 4 seasons. Here is such a story. What fact in the series Wednesday surprised you the most in this video, and what, perhaps, did I forget to tell here? Look forward to your comments under this video right now. Thanks for watching.